This video is for entertainment purposes only. Konnichiwa. Hi, baby. I am Rebel Brain. Said, tell him. Man, I got to do it, man. I got to do it. Hey. I got to do it, man. Hey, Tanil. Man, I can't be knowing I'll be online. I didn't even announce I was going to be online. They already sending out the damn WhatsApp, chatting in the group. Mama's online. Hey. Simona Strong. Hey, what's going on? Ancient One 2000. Where you been at? I ain't seen you in a minute. Hey, Krista. All right, listen, I ain't going to be on here long. All right? I ain't going to be on here long. I'm going to be on here real brief. All right, listen. So, I've really been paying attention to this. First of all, for those of you that don't know, I'm a real hip-hop head, okay? I'm a real hip-hop head. I grew up in a time of hip-hop when you were not allowed to bite. There was no biting allowed. And for those of you that don't know what biting means, it means that you cannot replicate somebody else's style. You can't rap the same cadence as them. You have to come up with your own originality. And back in the day, if you didn't have the capabilities of being able to do that, you never got a chance to get into the game of hip hop. Okay? It wasn't happening. It was pure skill set. Okay? It was skill set. You could be original. You could be crafty. You could be as crafty as you want to be, as creative as you wanted to be. But you were never allowed to bite somebody else's style in hip hop. That's just the way it was. Now, when did it change? When a lot of money and corporate America got involved. That's when it changed. Okay? And a lot of the brothers at that time, these guys were coming up from the streets. They were looking for a way to come up to feed themselves and their families. And so some of them started selling themselves out for the dollar. Okay. Well, have you guys noticed that the game went so far, okay? It went so far to the point now it has to go back to the way that it used to be. And what I'm paying attention to is, at least through the comments, what I'm noticing is that now it's about the skill set. Now it's about, can you rap? Do you have the skill set? Do you have the ability to bring bars? Do you have dope ass punchlines? Do you have that? Okay? And so what I noticed is that, okay, you have the younger generation who don't know nothing about nothing. Okay, these guys are the ones that these Generation Zs out here, they look at, these other rappers. I don't even know what you want to call them. I'm going to leave it at rappers that replicate a lot of other people's talent that is mediocre as hell as something big to stand on. Okay? Or they like to say, oh, well, this person doesn't have to do this because this person has more money, which that argument is getting very old now because people act like money is supposed to be the end all be all, and that when it comes to the game of hip hop. You see, you don't get to play the game of convenience when you're getting your ass dissed left and right, and you don't have the skill set anymore to come back at individuals that may be just a little younger than you, dropping bombs on you, right? And like, I just watched this joint that Papoose just did. The thing is crazy. Like, Papoose is tearing 50 Cent's ass up right now. He's tearing his ass up. And all anybody can say is, what song do you know that Papoose put out? I'm like, but see, that's the thing. You guys are forgetting about the 5 elements of hip hop. KRS-One taught about the 5 elements of hip hop. Okay? And if you don't know about hip hop, then you wouldn't know about the 5 elements of hip hop. You got to be able to be your own writer. You have to be your own writer. You have to be able to write your own lyrics. Okay? First and foremost. You got to be original as hell. You can't replicate somebody else. Okay? Back in those days, we wasn't on anybody out here singing. I mean, you have folks out here that did it, but it was about skill set. Yeah, you had the Will Smiths. He was doing his thing. Will Smith is nice with his shit. Okay? I watched him and Gilly the Kid and Wallow, what was it, a couple weeks ago when I couldn't believe they had Will Smith on the podcast. I was like, damn, you got Will Smith on your podcast? That's big. I grew up on Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? So, the Pat pen game been that. His pen game is crazy out of this world. Okay? And what I said to the person was, we're past that point now where you're utilizing money and hits as something that you can fall back on. And I mean, I saw 50 Cent. I don't respond back to niggas that, you know what I'm saying, that can't even write a hit. And then I chimed in and I responded back and I said, but nigga, you ain't wrote a hit in at least 15 years or more. What are you talking about? You're writing music for your shows. Those aren't hits. Those are just music for your TV shows. You're a TV dude now. You do TV. Here's my thing with that. Figure out which lane you're going to be in. You're either going to be in the TV lane or you're going to be in the hip hop lane. But you can't mess with hip hop niggas or rapping niggas and then play convenient talking about everybody trolling my page. I'm going to get off my page and get on because everybody trolling, all these trolls are on my page. And nobody's a troll. We're just calling you out for the hypocrisy. It's like, get in the booth, do the bars. This is what you came up with. When 50 first came out, he put out that How to Rob. 50 dropped at least 20 mixtapes. Okay? His mixtape game was crazy when he came out. That's how he caught the street movement. That's how he got big. That's how he was able to do Get Rich or Die Trying. That's how he ran the game for 10 years or more. That's how he was able to do that. Because I remember when 50 was coming. That was like man, remember, if y'all remember, that's when Jay-Z took a seat at Def Jam. JB said, let me go ahead and sit down. I had my run. Now let me go ahead and get a president position in Def Jam because this nigga's about to take over the whole game and there ain't nothing I can do about it. And then he had the backing of Dr. Dre and he had the backing of Eminem. You wasn't going to stop that momentum. You wasn't stopping that West Coast machine. And pay attention to the fact that 50 had to go to the West Coast to get put on because nobody on the East Coast was messing with 50. 50 was blackballed in New York. Nobody was putting him on. He created street buzz in New York. But when it came to anybody in New York co-signing him besides Jam Master Jay, and after he got killed, you know that went all downhill. He went over to the West Coast. Eminem's like, okay, I'm going to rock with you and I'm going to sign you and you're going to come over here. Okay? 50 got on, he did his thing. Now, where 50 went wrong at, I feel, is that whenever he got on and he did his thing, he continued to keep his foot on niggas' necks. Now, on one hand, I would say I get it because nobody was letting you on. I get it to a certain degree. But on another hand, I'm paying attention. If you guys really pay attention to this, after his run was done and over with, and there was really no more big records that he was putting out or songs he was putting out, then he started turning into the meme king. And I want you guys to remember this now. Remember the timeline. He started turning into the meme king. This is whenever he started doing Curly. You know what I'm saying? Making jokes and stuff like that when him and Rick Ross was having issues, okay? He started realizing he's really good at that, right? So then he transitioned himself into television. And a lot of people don't know that he wasn't able to get a seat in hip hop. He wasn't able to get a seat at the table on the music side. That's why he went into TV, so he could get a seat at the table on the television side. Okay? And if you pay attention, you can see, based upon who he's aligned with, the types of people that he's aligned with, you can tell that he did a transition out. Now, he's got a position of power in the acting part, okay, in film and TV shows, right? But then what do you start doing? You start cooning out here. You start cooning for master out here. You start going against your own people out here. And everybody started calling him out like, but you not saying nothing about these other folk out here that's doing this, that, and the third. You're only coming for your own people. And see, the one thing that I cannot stand about people like us in positions of power, they associate with power whenever they have the ability to oppress somebody else that looks like them. It's like they take on the oppression seat. In some kind of way, they feel as though that they have power. That's not power. Because as soon as people get tired of your ass is out of here. Now, here's what's happening now. Now, you done went out here. You didn't mess with, you didn't came out here. You didn't said you were going to do a versus with T.I. T.I.'s a real dude. I've known T.I. Let me tell y'all something. I was in the mix of T.I.'s career a lot. I knew Falant Johnson. Falant was the one who used to get me into the events that he used to do. Falant will pull me in. I'd be the one covering his events. I would be on the backstage or I'd be on the stage with T. I got pictures of this shit. I'd be on the stage. Okay. Those that are in the music industry that was there would know about this because my hustle was crazy back then. Okay. I was covering events. Falant would see me out and he would like, yo, come here. And he would tell the security, let her in. And I would walk in behind Grand Hustle. Okay? I would be right there with him. He always looked out for me before he passed on. Okay? So, T.I.'s always been that dude. I'm letting y'all know right now, he's always been that dude. For those of y'all got an issue, okay, he's always been that dude. You guys got to understand that my music career started in the ATL. That's where my music career started. Was there. When I came into the game as a writer. Okay? So, being there, being a part of that, seeing that whole thing go down the way, I was there when Jeezy was beefing with Gucci Mane and all that. I did an interview with Gucci. I still got that interview to this day that I never put out because the way he was talking about Big Meech at that time, and Meech was big. Like BMF was really big back then. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to not put this out. We're not putting that out. You're going to die. So I never put it out. Me and my team never put the video out. Okay? There's been a lot of things that I've seen, a lot of things that I witnessed, a lot of things that I filmed, a lot of pictures that I took. Some of my stuff on the internet still traveling out there to this day of stuff that I did when I was in the music business, okay? But what I'm going to say to you is that the person that you're seeing coming out right now, this isn't Tip. This is literally T.I. This is T.I. out here right now that's dropping them hits and dropping that shit on 50 right now. This is the T.I. that I knew when the nigga first came out. This is the T.I. who dropped I'm Serious. This is that T.I. that's out right now. Now, I don't know what the hell got into his ass, but one thing I'll say about him, he always knew how to write a hit record, and he's got some of the dopest producers on his project. One of them being DJ Toomp. I know DJ Toomp. Okay? Dope ass damn producer. All right? So now you did some stuff and you switched up on him. And then you thought that T.I. was going to back down on you. You thought that because you was going to come out and start memeing and all this other stuff, you thought that it was going to turn this, you thought it was going to just be you bullying. Now it turned into something else. And I told y'all in my post, I said, T.I. is going to make 50 Cent come out. What did 50 Cent do last week, a couple of days ago? Go to his Instagram page and tell me if you didn't see that 50 Cent responded on him on 2 records already. I told you that he was going to make 50 Cent come out. He's going to make him come out and respond. However, the records that he's putting out there are supposed to be diss records, but it's trash. Nothing's sticking. Okay? Nothing is sticking. Now, here's my thing for all you Negroes out there who like to say, oh, well, he's got this money. He don't need to do this. He don't need that. Then stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. If you're producing, stay there. Cause now you done put Tiny in the mix now. And that's one thing T.I. don't play. He don't play about his wife. Okay? Now, you done put the wife up in there. You done forgot that T.I.'s kids is grown now. His kids are grown. They ain't little kids no more. Them babies ain't babies no more. Them babies is grown ass men now. You got the money out here, J. Cole and this nigga half to death. You got King out here that's just taking everything to hell. Then he's got another son who does rock music who's also dissing him in rock records. And then I saw a little baby coming out and saying something. I'm like, okay, really? Y'all gonna let the little baby gonna get up in there? You gonna let the little girl go up there? She was singing her behind off. Okay? The point I'm trying to make is that when it comes to quote unquote optics, okay, I'm gonna say from an optic perspective, all right, the Harris family got it popping off right now as far as unity. Okay? Here's my thing. If 50 don't get with Dre, because I know 50 didn't want to get in no rap beef with no damn T.I. 50 need to go see Dre. See, if I was 50's manager, I'd be like, look, fam, if you're gonna come out here, you're gonna come at these fools the way you coming at them right now, because you know these memes ain't working. We're in a different time period now. That used to work. That's not working anymore. Okay? You're looking like a clown out here. That's not working anymore. You need to go see Dre. Since T.I.'s coming out with these damn hard-ass beats, you need to go see Dre. Okay? You don't reinvent the wheel. Go see Dre. Okay? Put Eminem on a hook. Get Eminem to write the hook. Get out there, see Dre. Get on the beat. Get on a hard-ass beat. Rap your ass off. Let Eminem do the damn hook and drop that shit. Simple mathematics. Got him shook like he ain't even been under fire like this since the 2000. Yeah, you're not gonna let me tell y'all something about these YNs out here. First of all, you're not gonna out meme a YN. Let's just start there. You're not gonna out meme and troll a YN. You're not gonna out troll a YN. You're not gonna out meme a YN. You're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Now I seen some stuff that was funny as hell. I saw some stuff on YouTube today. I don't know if 50 put this up or it was someone else that put this up. But they showed a video, they have video of 50 Cent and T.I. in a ring. And you know how you watch that show where you take the hand and you smack the crap out of someone? And it showed 50, where it showed T.I. smacking 50 And then 50 goes up and he smacks the crap out of T.I. and then all this white powder just comes out and T.I. falls to the ground. And they had Rick Ross and everybody else sitting in the crowd. And then Rick Ross comes up, starts pointing at 50 Cent, and then 50 Cent smacks him down. And then somebody else came up and he smacked, Ja Rule came up next and then he smacked Ja Rule down. That was funny as hell. Okay, I don't know if 50 did that or not. That was hilarious though. That video was too funny. Yeah, that funny. That video was funny as hell. I was like, oh my God. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's a little weird for me. And I'm going to tell you why it's weird. It's weird when you see a grown man in his 50s doing that type of shit. It's weird. Okay? It's giving weirdness to me. It's giving juvenile. It's giving immature. It's giving I didn't grow up in certain areas of my life. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's giving. Now I understand those of us who grew up in hip hop, we swear we're young forever. And I love that about hip hop, because in hip hop, you are young forever. You're young forever in hip hop. However, you kind of gotta be aware of certain things, right? Yeah, I seen it. It's a copy of an ad yeah, I seen. That's funny as hell. Yeah, that shit, is that the unhealed part of him showing? Yes, it is. And that's really all that it is. He's living his second childhood. Yeah, he doing something. But yeah, it is the unparts of him. You know what I'm saying? Because he has a serious issue with women. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell y'all something. You know, one of the things I see about our brothers, and I'm not saying that all of them are like this, because I don't think all of them are like this. But here's something I notice about them. When they're hurt, if a woman hurts them in some type of way, every woman that they come across has to pay the price of that pain. Okay? Every woman has to pay the price of that pain until that man decides that he's going to heal himself. All right? And I've been seeing it in this community more and more and more and more, to the point to where I'm like, damn, y'all making me have to speak up here now. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to comment, on certain things, but I'm like, bro, so is every woman supposed to pay the price because of what this chick here did 5 years ago? She's supposed to pay the price, or is every woman that you meet after that supposed to pay the price for that? And I'm just noticing that he is a very loud, classic case of a man who is severely unhealed, that has severe mother issues. Okay? And then King coming out here and he just took it straight to hell with his mama and all that. Didn't help matters none. Now King better watch his ass. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because 50, I'm gonna tell y'all something about Fifth. Okay? Those cancers, they'll get you. Fifth strikes me as a person who likes to play the long game. And if he's the type of person that I think that he is, where he likes to play the long game, he's the type of nigga that you don't ever want to get caught slipping on. It could be 2-3 years down the road. 2-3 years down the road. 5 years down the road. I feel like he's that type of dude that's gonna get you. But you know who else is like that? Puff is like that. Diddy's just like that. Diddy plays a long game. And I want you guys to pay attention to something. You notice how Fifth didn't drop that documentary until after Diddy got locked up? Y'all pay attention to that? If Diddy was out of jail, do you think that 50 would have put that documentary out? Do you think that would have happened? With you watching the documentary and you're seeing that the way that it's presented, and it's a strong insinuation that Diddy is a killer, do you think 50 would have put that out? Will put out that documentary? Do you think that Diddy has forgotten? Do you think that Diddy's going to let that slide? I'm going to tell y'all something about that nigga right there. 50 better be worried about that dude. Because the thing about Diddy, do not think that Diddy don't have no money. Diddy has a lot of money. A lot of money. Do not think for a second that Diddy is broke, because he's far from being broke. Regardless of what they tell you out here in the public. Okay? He's far from being broke. But Diddy is one that definitely plays a long game. And you guys remember when he showed that picture about him receiving those funeral flowers? That's one of many things that 50 has received from Diddy. He's just not telling you about the other shit that's been happening behind the scenes. You see, when I look into situations, and I'm gonna tell you, I didn't, at the time when Diddy was doing this thing, I didn't know that Diddy was doing the shit that he was doing. Okay? I know that some of the organizations that I was a part of, such as Core DJs, he came in, sponsored that. He sponsored different things that I was a part of. You know what I'm saying? But I never knew that he was on the type of time that he was on until all that shit came out during the trial. That shit blew my wig all the way back. Okay? So the point I'm trying to make is that 50 better watch himself with that situation right there. He better watch himself. 50 is developing a lot of enemies. He developed a lot of enemies before. Whenever he came out and his career took off, which is why he couldn't do anything else with music after he did his run and he had to get into film to keep himself relevant. He created a lot of enemies then, and he's creating a lot of enemies now. Now, I'm going to tell you something about him. He's going to come back here to the earth again. He's going to repeat. He's going to have to come back again because there's a lot of lessons that 50 didn't learn in this lifetime. So he will be coming back here again. He will be reincarnating, and he will be coming back here again. Okay. There's too many things that's happened. He has too much karma with people. And he is currently in his karma right now. Okay. And there's a lot of things that aren't going to go the way he thinks it's going to go for him because he is in his karma. And I'm going to say this too. Karma doesn't come the same way that you dish it out. That's where people get the game twisted at. It doesn't come the same way you dish it out. It's going to come a whole different way. And you remember I told y'all this. He's in his karma. And when a person is in their karma, when they have that karmic energy around them, anything can get to you. The least expected person that you think that you got in the bag that you don't even worry about is going to be the same person that gives you what you've been dishing to others or worse. Because see, when you're in karma, your defenses come down. Your natural protection comes down. Now you leave yourself wide open. Okay? That's how this works. All right? Now you out here starting these beefs with these rap Negroes. Now remember, now he got Fab as an enemy. He got Jim Jones as an enemy. You got Mano as an enemy. You got Papoose as an enemy. Okay? You got all the New York cats up there that we know about that's putting out diss records as an enemy. Now you done made T.I. enemy. Now you got the Harrises involved. But see, the thing is, it's the street movement that T.I. has in Atlanta that's big right now. And they love T.I. I'm telling you all that right now. They love T.I. So it's a street movement. The thing about Atlanta is they operate in Atlanta a little bit different. Because T.I. doesn't have to do anything. Other people will do it for him. That's how that works. When you're loved by your city, 50's not loved by his city. He's not loved by Queens. He's not loved by folks in New York. He has a lot of enemies in New York. That's why T.I. can go up to New York and prance his ass around, because he ain't got no beef with nobody up in New York. 50 gonna have to pay hitters. T.I. don't have to pay nobody. They just gonna do it because of the love they have for him. There is a difference. There is a difference when people genuinely love you and when people don't. And you got Diddy as your enemy. And you got Jay-Z as your enemy. So now you got major dudes that are your enemy that can pay anybody and has the power and the ability to touch you wherever. Jay has the power to touch him wherever he is. Do not ever get that twisted. He has the power to do that. His oldest was there last week. Well, Marquise don't have no problems. Jay-Z and Diddy most certainly do have karma, and Diddy's dealing with his karma. He's locked up. Okay? With Jay-Z, it's going to take a little bit longer for him because he moves differently. Okay? A lot of stuff he does is behind the scenes. He's not loud in his movements. We hear things about him, but we don't see anything. We hear. There's a difference. They still paying for Pac. They might be. Ain't 50 powerful too, though? Well, let's talk about that. Who you know in New York is going to back 50? Who in New York City is going to back 50? Who? It ain't going to be Banks. Yayo ain't going to do shit. They're rappers. So who in New York is going to back him? You guys need to go back and listen to that diss record that Papoose just put out there, because Papoose really exposes a lot of stuff that I've been knew about. But Papoose really exposed a lot about how he was eating and hating on his own Queensbridge niggas. He had to go get Yonkers niggas to protect him. Not even the niggas from Tweens. So what does that say? If you can't even get your own city to back you, that is problematic. He pays for goons. That is correct. He going to have to cut that check. So if he cut that check, yes, people going to ride out for 50 because he cutting that check. And it ain't going to be no cheap check either. He going to have to pay some niggas. Okay? That's the way it goes. And that's only because of all the enemies that he has created for himself out of New York. You don't create enemies on your own home turf. That's where you mess the game up. You don't do that. You don't do that. Most rappers get on the game by the support of their own home city. Remember that. I used to be in marketing and promotions. Okay? We used to do those street runs back in the day. If you don't have the support of your city, you don't get on. That's how this goes. Now, back then, 50 had the support of his city back then because of the mixtapes. But then what did he do when he got on? What did you do when you got on? And that street beef he had with Supreme didn't help matters none. That stuff he had going on with Murder Inc. didn't help matters none. But also, it makes me wonder, could that have been avoided? Could this been done a different kind of way? I don't know. $50 is hurt because New York did him dirty in the Supreme era. That is correct. That is correct. Okay? That is correct. That's what this whole thing is about. And that's the reason why you see him shitting on a lot of New York dudes, because he does have a grudge with the people out of New York. He does hold a grudge with them. Okay? But he's coming after everybody, which he should not do that. And T.I. never did nothing to 50 for 50 to do him the way he did him. And T.I., I guess he thought he could punk T.I. T.I.'s like, nigga, you ain't punking shit over here. You got me all the way twisted. So now T.I.'s like, now I got to show you. And the reason why I told you that he was going to make 50 come out was because them disc records are on radio now in Atlanta. And when them disc records start hitting the radio airwaves, when it takes off on the internet, I want you guys to remember something. In this climate, and I'll tell you this, and any other DJ will tell you the same thing, you're only as good as your last hit. So y'all don't get to conveniently say, oh, but he did this and this and this. Yeah. 15 years ago, he did do that. Yes, 15 years ago. Let's talk about now. You got T.I. in the top 10 on the Billboard charts right now. and you putting out memes. Not a good look. And people are going to see that and say, why are you not responding on records? Your fans want you to respond on records. You started this beef. Now you got to let people know why you're the biggest bully in New York. You're the biggest bully in hip hop. Show them why. And you're not doing a good job at that. You're sending out memes and making AI videos and shit. And yeah, it's hilarious. That shit is hilarious. But that's a temporary fix to what your fans really want. And your fans want you to get in that booth and do what 50 does. And you don't get to play the I'm rich and I'm business when it's convenient. And people are holding him accountable to that. So this is a classic case of I bit off more than I could chew. I took it too damn far. And now I got to show and prove. And more people are seeing it every day because we are coming out of the era of rich nigga glitz. We're coming out of that now. Listen, families out here, people out here trying to feed themselves on a daily basis. You think that folks give a damn about how much money this dude really got? He ain't giving it to them. People don't care about that. It's about the talent, the skill set. We're going back to the era of hip hop. Okay? Now that started when Kendrick and Drake was going at each other. When Drake was out here singing, thought he was going to give Kendrick a run, and Kendrick had to let that nigga know, no, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. You're a singer that raps. But you're not doing that. And the thing about dissing is you diss with the most coldest shit ever. Whatever you can find on a person when you're doing research, whatever dirt you can dig up, you go in and you say what needs to be said. Now pay attention to something. Drake went and filed a lawsuit against Universal Music Group, but he didn't file the lawsuit against Kendrick Lamar for saying it. I wonder why that is. What did Kendrick see? What does Kendrick know? What footage does he have? Because, you know, when you bring somebody to court, you have to provide evidence and proof of the things that you say. So why didn't Drake file a lawsuit against Kendrick for defamation of character? Why did he go only after UMG? They are both signed to the same label. But it didn't look too good. Y'all calling him Wheelchair Jimmy. Y'all crazy for that. The point I'm trying to make is that when it's your turn, it's your turn. For Drake to be called out on that, maybe there might be some truth to the rumors. I don't know. But I do find it interesting that he never sued Kendrick. That was something I paid very close attention to. Very interesting indeed. I like Drake better on Degrassi High. UMG allowed the song to come out, but it still doesn't change the fact that Kendrick said what he said. That don't mean, listen, UMG allowing the song to come out means nothing. He should have went after Kendrick. But see, I know why he didn't go after Kendrick. But I'm going to keep that to myself. Kendrick would never put that out there in a bar if he didn't have facts and proof. You don't want no trial. And you in your wrongness. And that gets out. You don't want that. Okay? Allegedly. Are you not entertained? I don't think about the name. I don't even know who that is. Yeah, I heard he was trying to sell his home in Cali, but he wasn't able to sell it yet. Ice is live, going back to back. Yes, going back to back, baby. Yes. No, I had to come on here and say something because I'm just getting tired of seeing the people, the brainwashed individuals that were just saying like, well, Papoose ain't put out a hit when? I said, yeah, but put 50 bar for bar with Papoose and watch Papoose eat his ass up. I said, Papoose is eating his ass up right now. I said 50 is no match for Papoose. There's not many rappers in the game that's a match for Papoose. You gotta really be like, you gotta be on some Black Thought shit. You gotta be, you gotta really, you know what I'm saying? You got to be an MC. You got to be an MC. Okay? You got to be that. Fucking around with Papoose. Cause he's a monster on them bars. And he's killing 50 right now. That new disc record he just put out on 50 right now is crazy work. Because Papoose did his homework. So now he's like tearing apart. He's letting them know, you nigga, you ain't get shot 9 times. You got shot 5 times. The only reason why you told niggas 9 is because you wanted to outdo Tupac. He went in. Y'all need to go, y'all need to go listen to that. He ate his ass up. Exposed him as far as what was going on with him in Queens. All types of stuff. That song go hard. The alphabetical slaughter days. Yeah, man. No. Yes, he does got the streets. Papoose definitely has the streets. He's very talented. He's hip hop. And all I'm saying is that he's staying on 50's neck now because he's seeing T.I. stay on the nigga. What's up with T.I. stay on the nigga neck? I'm still on the Now here come Mano coming around the corner, dropping another diss record on 50. You know what I'm saying? Mano's alright. But no. You know what I'm saying? Fab was that nigga that went after 50, that 50 knew he couldn't hang with Fab. There's another one. You can't hang with Fab. Here's another one. Don't make Fab get on his bullshit. Don't make him take it back to Desert Storm and them Desert Storm days. 50 can't hang with that. He can't hang with lyricists. He found out what happened when he tried to move against Jadakiss. Okay, remember when he went against Jadakiss? Jadakiss ate his ass up too. Okay? He ate his ass up too. You gotta leave the MCs alone. You beefing with MCs out here. Leave the MCs alone. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's refreshing to what we're used to seeing. If you're used to seeing trash out there for such a long period of time, and you're starting to hear some new shit coming from rappers that you have respect, and they're dropping those bars, and they got some catchy tunes to go along with the shit. It's different, it's fresh, and it's like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. I can actually understand what he's saying. He's not singing on the record either, which I really love that. It's just straight bars. And sometimes us as hip hop heads, we just want to hear some bars. The lit days. I remember when I saw Suge Knight one time, I was his cashier and got eerie vibes. Well, back in them days, I could see. Yeah, Mano's alright. Remember Kumo D and LL Cool J beef? Oh my God. Man, listen. My God. That thing was crazy. And LL wouldn't back down from a battle either. That's another one that was a battle rapper. LL was definitely a battle rapper. I remember that whole thing when they went against each other. That was crazy. And then what was it, Cannabis? When Cannabis and LL Cool J went against each other, that shit was crazy too. That first Cannabis disc was crazy. Okay? That thing was crazy. Okay? Nas and Jay-Z, crazy. Crazy. I remember when Nas dropped that Ether. This is when I was living back in Maryland, because I'm from Maryland. And I remember driving. I was on interstate. I forgot what interstate I was on at the time. Do you know I had to pull over to the side of the road? My ass had to pull over to the side of the road to hear this disc record that they were playing on WPGC. Niggas. And Minaj dropped that Ether. had to pull my ass to the side of the road and park my shit to listen to what Nas was saying on that record. I will never forget that. Thank you. Oops, I did it again. Thank you, baby. Yeah, he got it. He got him good. 95.5. You know about that, Zeph? Yep, they don't do stuff like that no anymore. No, they don't. Yeah, Nas ethered the hell out of Jay-Z on that record, man. I was like, oh, snap. Now, I'm going to say one thing now, because I don't know what's going on between Busta Rhymes and T.I., but I noticed that there's been something going on there. I don't know what's going on, but I saw a video when Busta Rhymes was talking to T.I., and he went in on T.I. bad. He was like, man, until you put 25, what did he say? He said, you ain't even been in the game long enough to move against my catalog. He goes, I could take this section of my catalog right here before you even came out, before you was even thought of. Put this section of my hit records before you was even thought of against your shit that you dropped when you first dropped it, and you still can't hang with my records. I couldn't say nothing about Busta because I was like, yeah, nobody goes against Busta Rhymes when it comes to a versus. There's just really not nobody that's going to hang with Busta Rhymes. I'm sorry, y'all. Busta Rhymes is that dude. You can't mess with Busta Rhymes, especially longevity. The longevity, this man has been in the game. This man has had records for 25, hit records. Imagine having hit records for 25 years. Imagine having hit records for 25 years that's still playing today as if the shit just dropped. Still rotating on the radio. Do you understand what his publishing game got to look like? How fat them publishing checks got to be looking like for him? Busta retired. He ain't got to do hip hop no more if he don't want to. He just dropped the album, I think it was last year, the year before last. He don't even have to do that no more. He can just live off the publishing checks for the rest of his entire life and be good to go. Yeah, you can't. You're not really messing with Busta Rhymes. He just can't. That he will annihilate anybody out here. As a matter of fact, I don't even think Busta has done a versus yet. I think that no one has stepped up to the plate. And he even said that if you decide to revisit this again, you know what I'm saying? I was like, God damn. But yeah, Busta ain't no joke when it comes to his hit records. He's just got too many hits. His catalog is ridiculous. Okay? Busta Rhymes is on the Bill Cosby Show. Karis One, The Bride Is Over. Music and hip hop. Yeah, Busta is different. Nobody has his cadence match. Only contender on flow is Takeoff. Nah, I don't see it. I hear you, but I don't see it. Because when it comes to him rapping fast, the only person I can know that can rap as fast as Busta Rhymes is Twista. Twista's the only one I know that can rap as fast as Busta Rhymes. So I don't see it with Takeoff. I don't see it. I don't know where you getting that from, fam. Yes, I love Takeoff. Don't get it twisted. Takeoff had his own thing going on. The Busta? I don't see that. Yeah, Eminem too. Yeah, Eminem. Now Eminem is a really dope MC. Definitely not a hater of Eminem. He definitely has etched his mark in the game. Okay, he is definitely hip hop, and he's another one that folks aren't going to move up against. That's suicide because Eminem is a real MC. He's another one that's an MC, and he's a battle rapper. No, you got to remember how Eminem first started. Okay, y'all forgetting about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, there's just certain ones you can't really. You got to leave. There's certain rappers, you just gotta just let them have their shine, their glory over here, right? You don't want to just admire. And okay then, okay. There's several ones that's made their mark in the game. Yes, I would agree. Yeah, but when it comes to hit records, no one's messing with Busta Rhymes as far as having more hit records. I don't know of any. I don't know of any. I don't know of any. Yep. Styles P is definitely one of my favorites. He's definitely one of my favorites, and he's a cool ass dude too. Him and Jada, they real cool dudes. Real cool dudes. Matter of fact, the last time I saw Styles P was at a DJ event a couple of years ago in California, and I was there at this DJ event. They was having the DJ Spin Awards or something like that out there in LA, and I was out there for that, and I ran into Styles P on the elevator, and he was high as hell. And he bumped into me, and I said, "There you go." You know what I'm saying? He looked back, he said, "Isis, my bad." I said, "What the hell you doing out here?" I'm here for these damn DJ awards. High as hell. But he cool peoples. Yep, Tribe Called Quest. Oh yes, love them. They put some dope hits out too. Now, when it comes to battle rapping, yeah, Cassidy's definitely nice with his shit. Yep. It's good to see you guys talking on here. What about Mobb Deep? Because I love Project, and I'm still so sad about him going, yeah, Mobb Deep definitely put it down. Andre 3 Stacks. To me, I would say Outkast is probably the biggest rappers that came out of Atlanta was Outkast. The biggest is Outkast to me. Okay, I mean Andre 3000, definitely a genius, lyrical genius. There won't ever be anyone like him ever. He created his own niche, okay, for the South. Yep, Griselda, Miss Jackson, yep. Griselda's nice too. I like them. They're nice. Wu-Tang, the Shaolin Masters. Yeah, I remember whenever they was doing anything back in 1995, man. Man, I remember whenever everybody was waiting to get their album to drop. And I mean, there was lines all the way up and down the damn street. I said, damn. But yeah, Wu-Tang, Method Man. You know, I sit back and I think about rappers I listened to back in the day, because I used to do mixtapes back in the day, right? I used to create mixtapes. And Cool G Rap was that dude. God. There was so many of them at that time that was coming out. Queen Latifah, she was doing her thing big time back in the day. MC Lyte. Moni Love. KRS-One, MC Shan, Roxanne Shante. There was so many of them back in the day, man, that really paved the way for a lot of rappers to come out there and do their thing, man. Much love and respect to them. When Wu-Tang first shot in New York was on tilt. Yeah, it was. Rakim, oh my God, yes. Rakim. You know, the first time I saw Rakim in a concert was in Atlanta. This was years ago. The club was called 1150 at the time, but they changed it to Opera. And Drez the Beatnik at the time, he was a big hip hop promoter. I think it was Drez that brought Rakim down to perform, and I remember that venue was like packed. Okay, because they had the upstairs and the downstairs. Crazy. When Tribe Called Quest came down, I forgot the name of that. I forgot the name of that venue. Packed out. So I didn't even get a chance to even see Rakim in concert until later. And Rakim is that dude. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. I grew up on Eric B and Rakim. Like I grew up on these dudes right here. Okay? I grew up on these dudes right here. Run DMC. Oh my God. And I used to rock the Adidas. And I used to have, when I was playing basketball, because I was an athlete, right? I was a basketball player. And I was the only one on the entire team that rocked red and white Adidas. Okay? And I remember I used to have the thick cable chains that niggas used to wear back in the day? and thick cable gold chains and shit. With the jumpsuits. with the Adidas jumpsuits and shit. With the big bamboo earrings and shit. Oh my God, man. That was so dope back then. Man. Pimp C and C Murder was really nice too. Really, really nice brothers from the South. Naughty by Nature and Do or Die are my favorite. I forgot about Do or Die. Damn, you took it back with that one. Damn. Crucial Conflict. Big Ass Door Knockers. What about Capital Steez, that MC that made Free the Robot song and other songs, Underground Legend? Yeah, I forgot about Capital Steez too. Someone else mentioned him too. Plus Diggable Planets, A Tribe Called Quest, yes. Don't forget the Shootlaces. Oh, you taking a Big L. Oh my God. Big L. Ooh. Ooh, he was supposed to be that next dude out of New York too. They did him dirty. They did Big L real dirty, man. He was supposed to be that next dude up out of there. He was supposed to be up out of there. And there were some rumors behind that too, as far as who took him out and why that was done. But I remember that. Yeshua is coming soon. Why we gotta talk about religion when we talk about hip hop? And he's already here. And it ain't a he, it's a her. Yeah, they did him super dirty. Yeah, man. God, man. You guys are really making me reflect back to a lot of different time periods back then. I would say, and well, for those of you that know, what was the biggest years in hip hop? I'm gonna say 90s. 90s years was the best years in hip hop. I don't care what none of y'all say. 90s was the best years in hip hop. I'm gonna tell you why it was the best years, because you had such a variety of artists that were out in the 90s. And also that was during the same time when they were also dropping that neo soul movement at the same time. This is Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, The Roots, you know what I'm saying? All of them, you know, Kim. I can't think of the other one's name right now. There's a couple other ones off the top of the dome I can't think right now. But it was a combination of that and the hip hop. And I'm telling y'all, those are like the best years ever. 95 to 2004. Yeah. Yeah. Those are the best years. 90s was the ish up until 2010. They fell all the way to the floor. New Jack Swing, Heavy D, Lords of the Underground was my dude too. Oh my goodness. Lauryn Hill, she was definitely problematic out here. Boss Wade. 90s was the best of everything. You know what be tripping me out sometimes, y'all? Is when I be seeing some of these young dudes out here be playing some of this hip hop, and I be like, hold up, fam. What do you know about this and this and this and this? And it was like, what you talking about? Shit, my parents used to play this all the time. I stay rocking to these joints. I was like, what? So, shouts out to Generation X. Shouts out to the Generation Xers, because we influenced the hell out of our kids, okay? We influenced the hell out of our kids to listen to the dopest music, okay? If you are a son or a daughter of a Generation Xer, okay? I'm telling you right now, those kids right there, super developed, super intelligent. Hip hop was hip hop back then. That was when music was music. What the hell? Exactly. My daughter's got to let people know real music. Yes, still listen to Kim, D'Angelo, and India are faithfully left out. Need to bring back the neo soul aspect. Neo soul's still here. It never went anywhere. And Jill Scott just dropped her new album. Millennials did too. Raised by boomers. Generation X, baby. That's right. If you I'm a Generation Xer, baby. Okay. All right. We terrified our damn children when they got online. Okay. We terrified our goddamn kids. Okay, that's what we did. But we kept their asses in check. Nah, for real. How many Generation X's out here used to scare the shit out their kids and shit for no reason? We'd be pranking them and shit. I used to prank the hell out of my daughter, man. I used to prank the shit out of her ass. Michael Jackson was the best. That is hilarious. I'm in the backseat with mommy listening to my entire catalog. I had thousands of CDs. Girl, don't even get me started. We sure the F did and don't regret it. Oh my goodness. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Bring back that boom back music. I'm a 01 baby and don't nothing hit the earliest 2000s and below. That's right. Hip hop, Anatol. Man. Yeah, I just had to come on here and I had to express a couple things. I left my tape rock until my tape pop. Hey. Y'all remember Pete Rock and CL Smooth? Those are them dudes too. Master Ace. This is scare us like it was monsters outside. Hey, King Cooley. I like all genres of music. My dad stayed pranking me. Because we love to do that shit. We love doing it. MF Doom was MF Doom was nice. Yeah. MF Doom was that dude back in the day. Yes, he was. Reminisce. Mary J. Blige, when she dropped What's the 411? I would say them first three albums that Mary J. Blige dropped was the story of my entire fucking life. The first three albums, that Mary J. Blige, listen, of all the women out here that you know, when you go back and listen to that music now, that shit was toxic as hell. But, okay, when you go back and you listen to Mary J. Blige's first three albums, that was my damn life. That was my damn life. All day. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that them two ain't speaking no more. It's crazy. Lucchini, I be playing that every once in a while. When she dropped that damn What's the 411, boy, listen. And at my life, oh my goodness. Faith did her thing. Yeah, so she said, Mary got me through them times for real. Listen, man. Listen. And then that Jodeci, when Jodeci dropped their first album, story of my damn life. I swear I swear to God they were talking about my life at that time, man. Both of them. Digital Underground, now you took it back with that one. I forgot about Digital Underground. A lot of people don't know that's Faith harmonizing the backgrounds on Mary's albums. Oh, wow. Special Ed, yeah, Special Ed is nice. I forgot about him. Mary, Faith, and Jodeci had me in a chokehold. Yeah, man. 211 and Aaliyah, yeah. Mary's song Reflections was deep to me. She had a lot of joints that she put out. But it's funny, when I listen to her now, I still listen to her music, but when I listen to it, like really listen to the lyrics and the shit she was saying, I was like, oh my God, Mary, you're talking about the most toxic shit ever. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sit back and you sit back and you think about them days, toxic as hell, bruh. Toxic as hell. Y'all know that Mary was toxic in them damn songs. And you was in them damn toxic relationships too because you can relate to the shit. I definitely was too, damn it. You know what I'm saying? When you sit back and think about it, you start listening to that shit, I said, damn, that was some. Because when you're healing and you went through a lot of healing, and you start listening to that shit again, you're like, yeah, that was a crazy time back then. That was kind of crazy. I can't believe I was on that shit. I was on that. Yeah, nigga, you was on that, nigga. You was in love with that nigga. Talking about my child's father. I was in love with that nigga. Those were her best albums. Yep, Share My World. Oh, that damn begging and shit she was doing. Yeah, goddamn. When I sit back and think about some of that shit, I start cringing. I begin to start cringing like, I start cringing. If y'all know, you know. Waste of non-existent time. Listen, I ain't know what the hell was going on them years, man. You sit back, you reflect back on them years. I don't know what the hell was going on at that time period, man. I don't know what the hell was going on. That's like a blur to me. Those times were like a blur. She was acting a fool on stage. She sure was. How many of y'all remember them days? That shit was a blur to me, man. When I sit back and think about that shit now, that shit's a blur. She said, I'm going to listen to her now. Couldn't tell me I want in the video. All I really want to be is happy. Yep, between Puffy and KC, Mary never stood a chance in mental health stability. No, she did. And having Puff manage her, yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot. Cringy as hell. Especially when you think about she was talking about KC at the time. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember Self-Destruction. Do you remember It's Self-Destruction? Who was all on that? Yep, I was on that back in the day. Silk, you can't forget about Silk. Crush on You with Little Kim. That was my joint right there. That was my joint. Little Kim was my girl back in the day. Yeah, man. Yeah, Mary, she... Lord have mercy. But the more evolved Mary now, I rock with her. As a gens, my favorite rapper from the old school is Tupac. I relate to his revolutionary and liberation poetic spirit. His music is fire. Tupac was definitely that dude. Public Enemy was definitely them dudes. Zane, yep. Now what you know about Zane, child? With the groove thing. Yeah, you know about that. What y'all know about that? Racine, what's going on, fam? Boogie Down Productions will always get paid. We'll take this wackest song and make it better. Remember to let us into your skin, cause then I'll begin to master rhyming. Y'all remember that joint? That's my shit right there. Criminal Minded, that was my shit. Oh my God, that was my shit. Yep. To Master, that was my shit right there. Oh my God. Man, that was my shit. That and Love's Gonna Get You. Love's Gonna Get You was that shit too. All forms of Pac and his final form, Machiavelli. Tupac was the Frieza of the hip hop DBZ universe. Now Pac did his thing now. I ain't gonna hold you. We some old souls up in here. What I meant, what I said earlier, how music was music back then and today's music is this new generation is very different compared to back then, but there are some good hits out there in today's music. Well, here's what I'm going to say to that. And I guess we're all going to have our own opinions about what good music is. As someone who's been in the music business for 20 years, let me tell y'all something. Good music is Marvin Gaye. Okay? That's good music. All right? Ozzy Brothers. That's good music. Aretha, Patti LaBelle. That's good music. Okay? Whitney Houston, good music. You got to understand, I grew up in a background of instruments, writing. Okay? I had instruments. My dad made sure I had instruments. Okay? When I think of good music, and I guess in a sense when I think about it now, because I took music appreciation, got into some music theory, learning how to write the music out, things like that. When I think of good music, to me, good music is the music that stands the test of time. We have hits out today, but they don't stand the test of time. But the music that we still listen to from back then stands the test of time. That's good music to me. When you could play, listen, Marvin Gaye is in rotation, okay? And he was before my time, all right? But he is in rotation all day. Today, this music is all right. They got some joints out there that's okay. It's good for the moment. But when I think of good music, I think of generational music. I think of music like Michael Jackson. Like I could pull out a Thriller album and rock that shit as if I was back in 1984. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Not too many people's touching Mike. Not too many people just touching Whitney. Okay? When you start talking about those classics, Prince, you know what I mean? When you start talking about these are like Prince was a real musician. Okay? There's so many good ones that put music out. And that music still stands the test of time till today. I can't keep the new music in rotation. I listen to the old school music. Yeah, James Brown has some joints. Bob Marley is in rotation. Because a lot of his music is high frequency, heart space music when you listen to Bob Marley. If everybody would just get a blunt and listen to some Bob Marley, fan, nobody would be out here arguing and fighting and warring with each other. That's why they took him up out of here, because he was putting out heart space music. Imagine getting taken up out here because your music has the ability to influence the people for the better, and you get taken up out of here because of that. Imagine that. We're going to take you up out of here because your music influences the world in such a way that we don't like that. This is the kind of world we live in. Ass backwards ass world. They don't want to give shine to anything that operates on the heart frequency. That's why a lot of people out here are messed up. Because music affects 100% of the brain. And they know this. That video of him causing lightning to strike at his concert. Oh yeah, that was crazy. Yes, every time I listen to old school music, I feel more alive. I feel not only more alive, but more heart space. More heart space. This is heart space. Earth, Wind, and Fire on rotation. Easy. When you look at their album covers and you listen to the music that oh my God, you listen to the music they were putting out, them Anunnaki brothers right there now. Okay, they were Anunnaki brothers right there. That music they put out, National Mystic Bob Marley. Man, you want to make me put Bob Marley in rotation right now, fam. Man, single song is my happy place. You're enjoying it? I'm glad. Oh, yes, I am enjoying it. George Clinton in the Parliament. And he's actually a really cool ass dude right there. George Clinton is a cool ass dude. Okay, he cool as shit. I had a chance to meet him a couple years ago. Frankie Beverly was that dude. Yep, Kurt Cobain was definitely that dude. That whole album Smells Like Teen Spirit. Yeah, now that album right there was crazy. Parliament. Fifth Dimension, Age of Aquarius song. Boom. She said Babyface. Yeah, Babyface was that dude too. I gotta see what you're working with, CJ. I gotta see. Send me a DM and I'll send you my email so I can see what you're doing. The Brothers Johnson. What about that song "Ring My Bell" by Anita Ward? That's supposed to. I didn't drop the science about that on one of my money rituals. I dropped the science on that. Okay, that's what I be playing when I be doing my money rituals. That's that song I be playing. Tell y'all right now. Okay, honey. Okay. Fantasy by Earth. Yeah. Yeah, Guy was nice too. Ozzy Brothers, especially their song "Voyage to Atlantis." You want to know who else I'm going to give props to? I'm just mad that he was the way that he was the way that he was. R. Kelly is one of the dopest songwriters in the history of music. He is one of the dopest musicians ever. And that shit that he had going on with him overshadowed all that damn talent. But that dude right there wrote some hit records. Okay? He was a composer and a musician. That dude right there, crazy work. Crazy work. It's like, I remember when all the accusations stuff started coming, I said, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, why you gotta go after our Grace, goddamn R. Kelly? What you doing, man? What is you doing? What is you doing? You killing me right now. Sade will forever be classic. And let me tell you something. I don't know too many women that got a voice like Tina Marie. Learning how many songs he made for people was insane. Yeah, he was retarded with his records. Hendrix was definitely that guy. Yeah. I'm about to play my Dusty's playlist. I love how we're bonding on this live. Okay, Courtney. Yeah, Tina Marie, man, her voice, and Rick James, Lord have mercy. Woo! Ice, my spirit tells me you a beast with that pen. I'd come out of retirement to work with you. Yeah, we might have to do something. Stevie Wonder, oh my goodness, Stevie Wonder. It's my influence in music. I'm telling y'all, I remember back in the day in the 80s, I used to carry the big boom box. How many of y'all was in the 80s and used to carry the big boom box, the big jam box back in the day? Y'all remember the big boom box? Remember when LL Cool J was dropping that song on my radio? Used to walk around carrying the big boom box and shit. I was one of those. I was one of those. I definitely did that. And it was loud as hell too. I definitely did that. Okay? I definitely did that. Curtis Mayfield, oh my goodness. Yeah, I said, y'all had the boom. Listen, I had that. Okay? I had that. And at that time, I was also a basketball player too. So I was in my tomboy days too, back in the day too. So yeah, I used to have my little boom box, okay? All right now. Okay? One used to walk to the store with this boombox. I used to walk to the park. I'd leave my house. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the park. And I take my little jam box, fam. And I'm walking, jamming out as I'm walking to the damn park to go play some damn basketball. With all the size D batteries in the boombox. Boom. And you better have Duracell. You better have it. Ain't no way I can't believe you play basketball. I was an All-American in basketball. What? 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 Girl, please. All-American, baby. Okay? Trophies for days. The Gap Band, when I want to dance, I still got notebooks of old songs I wrote. Guarding the Codes, what up? Yeah, girl. If you would have to really scroll down on my Instagram, but I have pictures of that. You'll see me with, like, I was in the newspapers and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was showing people pictures and shit, did write-ups on me and all types of stuff. Yeah, I had a whole life of sports playing. I played sports. My dad was like, you going to do something. My dad had a whole thing planned out for me. You're going to play sports and then you're going to go overseas and you're going to play basketball over there. And that's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going overseas to play basketball. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pursue my career in music. And he had talked to my ass for 5 years. He did talk to my ass. My dad did talk to me for 5 years, y'all. 5 years. And he act like that music wasn't my first love. That's the thing that killed me. I was like, you act like you didn't know that music wasn't my first love. You're the one who actually supported me and getting the instruments and all types of shit. When I went to college, I was taking a lot of different music courses and stuff like that. You act like you didn't know this. You know what I'm saying? So why would you get on one when I decided to pursue a career in music? Why would you get on one? He had his mind all made up about how he thought I was going to live my life. Okay, kids, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and then from there, you're going to go do this. And then when they brought the professional league back to the States, he was like, okay, the ABL's here. Okay, they got the WNBA. You think you're going to play that? I'm not playing no damn basketball, fam. That was your dream. That's not my dream. I'm in my dream right now. I'm doing music. Cool in the Gang, Get Down on It. That was my shit. Yep. Where do you think R&B and hip hop is going to be in the next 5 years? I think that there is going to be a rotation of love songs coming back. I think that we've done so much to each other at this point. There is nothing else to do for us now but to go back to return to loving each other again. You know, we've done enough hating each other, fighting each other. At what point do you say, okay, I'm tired of this now. This isn't working. We need to get back to loving each other again. Respecting one another again. Healing so we can remember how to love again instead of allowing the pain to guide us and steer us. You see, that's one thing about when you're operating in an unhealed state, when you're not presently aware, your wounds will talk for you and guide you in life. When you're not healing, you got to be careful of that you don't let your wounds take the steering wheel of your life. Because a lot of people have done that. A lot of people have allowed their wounds, their fears to deter them from happiness. You wouldn't believe how many people I've came across in my life where I've literally saw them allow fear and pain derail their whole shit. And they were so scared to live the life that they wanted to live for themselves. And he died alone. Or they died settling because of that. That is so crazy. I can't believe you play ball like that. I love basketball. Yeah, girl, I did all that stuff. Music about authentic experiences that can help others move through similar experiences. Yeah. We just got to get back to that and stop promoting all the worst experiences that humans have. Okay, we already know the worst of experiences that humans have, and that doesn't need to be promoted 24 hours and 7 days a week. What about the beautiful experiences that we have? What about that? You see, people's minds have been trained to gravitate toward negativity. Now you got to train your mind to gravitate towards something more meaningful. I'm a firm believer in balance. Okay? Nothing wrong with balance. You got to have balance. Thoughts on Bruno Mars? I mean, I don't really know much about Bruno Mars, except for I do think he's talented. I always thought that Bruno Mars was talented. I just heard some rumors that he got caught up with some gambling issues at the casino, and I'm not sure what's going on there. Those are rumors. I don't know what the hell happened. When you said boombox, it reminded me of Run DMC, Raising Hell. Yep. And I did see them at the I was at the Raising Hell tour. You're taking me back now. You taking me back. This is when we went to the Capitol Center in D.C. And we went to go see Run DMC for the Raising Hell tour. Now that shit was crazy. LL Cool J was on the ticket. That shit was crazy. There was some D.C. artists that was on the bill because they was playing some go-go music and whatnot. I want to say, I hope I'm not getting this wrong, because I saw a Bobby Brown in concert there, and I could be getting some shit mixed up. But I remember Patti LaBelle was on the ticket. And let me tell you something about Patti LaBelle, honey. And I met her in person. But let me tell you something about Patti LaBelle. She is the sweetest lady ever. Okay? Very down to earth. Okay? When I met Miss Patti, child, she was talking to me like she had known me for years. Do you hear me? I was like, what's going on? I said, can I go home with you now, Miss Patti? I'm one of your children now. I'm your daughter that you didn't know you had. She is a sweet lady. But let me tell you something. When I heard her at that damn concert blowing, I ain't never heard no stuff like that before in my life. Especially in concert. The way she shut that Capitol Center down. Oh my God. Crazy. I get chills just thinking about it. Her voice. Very powerful. When I tell you she had that Capitol Center shut down. Couldn't believe my ears. Someone said, yeah, I love that feeling for people too. Someone said, she is a beautiful soul. What do I think Nikki's true motive is and why her specifically? I already spoke on this before. And I specifically said in the previous live that the only reason why Nikki made the moves that she made was because of protection. And it's very obvious and very loud. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out if you're paying attention to her moves and how she's been moving. From the husband that she married, she needed protection. It's very common sense. Okay? Nikki, you got to pay attention to who Nikki's moving up against. Who is she calling out? Who her enemies are. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out if you're just paying attention just at a little bit. She got big time enemies. And she needs big time protection. Period. So in her mind, she gonna say what she gonna say, do what she gotta do to make sure that she is secure because her husband isn't big enough. He's a street dude, yes. So when it comes to physical protection, she has that. But she needs more because she knows that the way Jay-Z moves, them folks move on a whole different kind of level. They move a different kind of way. So and plus Jay-Z has political power. Okay? So Nikki's like, well, shit, I need political power. So let me go ahead and team up with the biggest damn bully in the world right now, Donald Trump. There it is. And her mind, you wouldn't dare move up against me because I got Donald Trump backing me. And you see he's going to war. You see he's doing this. You see he's doing that, this, that, and the third. And for all intents and purposes, I get it. It makes sense. But it's really about protection. because she gonna need protection. That's why she's standing 10 toes down on where she stands. She ain't gonna budge off of that because in her mind, she's trying to protect her and her family. She lost 10 million followers in a day. I mean, shit. She did their Instagram account. Listen, fans are fickle. One minute they love you, the next minute they hate you. Okay? All because of her political views. What the hell does her political views got to do with the music? Does that change Nikki as an artist? No, it does not. So why are you caught up in political views? Why are any of y'all caught up in political views? Dumbest shit ever. Dumbest argument ever. Dumbest shit ever. A person has a right to feel and vote and side with whomever they choose to side with. That's their right. But that ain't got shit to do with Nikki's music. And if you guys were real fans, real stans, y'all would have stayed with her and rocked with her and shout out to the ones who did. And I'm not a Nikki stan. I never was a Nikki stan or a Nikki fan. See, my issues with Nikki is personal. Okay? It's a personal issue with me and Nikki. From issues that took place when I was in the music business. I have an issue with her because of that. Not because of anything political. It's personal. Okay? But if you're going to be somebody fan, to be somebody fan. If you're going to be somebody stan, to be somebody stan. If you're going to be someone that supports them, to support them. But don't sit up here and jump shit because they have a different political view as if your political views are any better than the next person's political views because either side is fucked up. No matter who you vote for. The two sides of the same coin. We're in the age of Aquarius. If y'all haven't figured this shit out by now, you ain't never going to figure it out. Nikki definitely has done that. You gotta look. You need to go back to when Nikki was with Smack DVD, and you will hear her freestyles. That's crazy that you ain't never seen her freestyles because she definitely got plenty of those. That's crazy. You never heard her. You go Google Nicki Minaj and Smack DVD, and you're gonna see shitloads of freestyles. That's how she got on. Discernment. Who's that comment discernment for? I want to address that individual. Are you talking to me? D New Wave. Are you talking to me? Who you talking to, baby? I need to holler at you for a quick second. I'm gonna give you a little bit of light. Jalen Blue, what up? Grits and bacon? What up? Okay, baby. Okay. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. Oh, I get it. You're talking about the stance discernment. That's what you're talking about. All right. So, I appreciate y'all for coming on board and rocking out with me. I just want to come on here and shoot the shit with y'all. Jaylen, you crazy. I just want to come on here and shoot the shit with y'all. See how y'all doing. Talk hip hop. You know, I like to talk about other things besides all the serious stuff. You know, I talk about the serious stuff all the time, but it's nice to see this for you guys to see this other side of me. The other side, because there's many different sides to myself. Okay. And I want y'all to see this other side of me. I want you guys to experience this other side of me. All right. It's dope. Yes, it was fun. NJ Crisp, what's going on? I'm glad you guys had a good old time. Grits and Bacon, where the heck have you been at, fam? I ain't seen you in 3 years. My goodness. Y'all have fun? I'm going to get my behind off of here now. I got to go. It was good talking with y'all. I do remember you. How am I going to forget you? Grits and bacon? Of course I remember you. I miss when you started your lives with music. Yeah, Instagram be hating. You're welcome, honey. I found out that I can play my music on Twitch as well, y'all. I found out I can play music on Twitch TV. So, that being said. So, just get ready for that. Just get ready. Oh, Ice is After Dark. I'll be announcing the next show coming up very soon. But yeah, I get to play music, y'all. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Bye.